For 15 years, I pushed a mower across my own lawn every single Saturday, rain or shine. 90-degree heat, didn't matter. I told myself that was just what you did if you wanted a nice yard. Then in 2019, I met a guy named Daniel Yoder, an Amish farmer out in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, who hadn't started a gas engine in his life, and his front yard looked better than mine ever did. No mower, no gas can, no Saturday morning ritual. And when I asked him what his secret was, he looked at me like I'd asked why water is wet. "Why would I fight the ground," he said, "when I could just plant something that already wants to be here?" That conversation changed how I look at lawns completely. And I'll be straight with you. The entire lawn care industry does not want you having that conversation. Because a lawn that doesn't need mowing doesn't need a new mower every 8 years. It doesn't need gas. It doesn't need a landscaping crew showing up every Thursday. The industry that sells you turf grass seed, sells you the mower, sells you the fertilizer to keep that grass green, and sells you the fuel to run the machine. That entire chain only works if your lawn stays exactly the kind of high-maintenance, water-hungry, chemical-dependent grass that needs constant upkeep. A lawn that takes care of itself is a lawn that stops generating revenue. So today, I'm going to walk you through 7 no-mow lawn alternatives that are lower maintenance, better for the environment, and in almost every case genuinely more beautiful than a conventional turf grass lawn. Trust me on this one. Once you see what's actually possible, going back to a weekly mow is going to feel like a chore you invented for yourself. Number 1. Creeping thyme. Creeping thyme is the alternative I recommend most because it does everything grass does and several things grass simply can't. It forms a dense, low mat that covers the ground completely, handles light foot traffic just fine, and stays green all season without a single pass of the mower. Researchers at Iowa State University have studied low-growing ground cover thymes for exactly this reason. Their spreading root structure outcompetes weeds and holds soil moisture far longer than turfgrass roots ever do. In late spring, thyme covers itself in small pink and purple blooms that turn the whole yard into something that looks more like a garden feature than a lawn replacement. And the fragrance when you walk across it is something grass will never give you. It wants full sun and well-drained soil, which makes it perfect for the hot, dry yards that turfgrass always struggles in come July. Once it's established, it's drought-tolerant and essentially self-sufficient. No feeding, no scarifying, no edging, no weekly commitment. For a sunny front yard, it's one of the most dramatic changes you can make for almost no ongoing cost. Number 2. White clover. A pure white clover lawn is one of the most underrated things you can do with a yard that's currently just turf grass. Clover stays low naturally, rarely climbing past 4 inches without any help. And it stays soft and green all season, even during the stretches when grass goes brown and brittle. Here's the part the fertilizer companies really don't want you thinking about too hard. Clover pulls nitrogen straight out of the air and fixes it into the soil as it grows. It feeds itself. Walter Schubert, a retired agronomy extension agent I talked to out in Ames, Iowa back in 2021, told me he'd been watching clover get pushed out of American lawns since the 1950s for one simple reason. Once broadleaf herbicides became standard, clover started getting killed off as a weed, even though 30 years earlier it was included in nearly every commercial grass seed blend sold in this country. It flowers all summer with small white blooms that bees can't get enough of, turning a flat green surface into a genuinely wildlife-friendly space. Mow it 2 or 3 times a season if you want it tidy, or don't touch it at all. It looks good either way. For families with kids, it's softer underfoot than most turf grass and bounces back from wear a lot faster. Number 3. Chamomile. Chamomile lawns go back centuries in English cottage gardens, and once you've walked on one, you understand exactly why. The non-flowering variety, called Trenegue, forms a dense, feathery carpet of apple-scented foliage that stays low without mowing and releases its scent every time you brush against it. There is genuinely nothing else like it. It wants a sunny spot with well-drained soil, and it does best in areas that don't get heavy foot traffic. It's less tolerant of wear than clover or thyme. Gene Vogt, a landscaper out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, put in a chamomile lawn for a client back in 2018, specifically because the homeowner had a lawn service quoting her over $4,000 a year for weekly mowing, fertilizing, and weed control. 3 years later, that chamomile lawn has cost her almost nothing beyond an occasional light trim. No feeding, no scarifying, no seasonal chemical program. Just a yard that smells like apples every time somebody walks across it. Number 4. Microclover. Microclover is a finer-leaved variety of white clover, bred specifically for use in lawns, either on its own or blended into existing turf grass. The leaves are noticeably smaller than standard clover, giving it a texture much closer to conventional grass, which means it blends in seamlessly if you're not ready to go full clover. It keeps every benefit of regular clover: the nitrogen fixing, the drought tolerance, the low maintenance. But from a few feet away, it's almost indistinguishable from a fine grass lawn. This is the option for people who love the idea of clover, but want something that still reads as a normal lawn to the neighbors. It's increasingly sold as a ready-to-sow product now, which makes it one of the easier switches on this list. Number 5. Moss. Moss lawns are having a real moment right now, and once you understand the appeal, it's not hard to see why. A well-established moss lawn is one of the most velvety, lush surfaces you can put in a yard. Deep green year-round. Zero mowing. Zero feeding. Zero watering once it's settled in. Japanese gardens have used moss as a primary ground surface for centuries, and the calm it creates is something turfgrass simply cannot replicate. Dale Kowalski, a homeowner out in Naperville, Illinois, spent 9 years fighting grass under a massive oak tree in his backyard. Nothing but bare dirt and frustration every summer. In 2020, he stopped fighting it and let the moss that kept trying to grow there do exactly what it wanted to do. Wrong tree, wrong soil, wrong fight the whole time. Now that shaded patch is the best-looking part of his entire property. The key requirement is shade and consistent moisture. Moss doesn't work in a hot, sunny spot. But for north-facing yards, shaded corners, or the ground under mature trees where grass has always lost the battle, moss is the answer. And in most cases, it's already trying to grow there whether you want it to or not. Number 6. Native wildflower meadow. A wildflower meadow needs exactly 1 mow a year, in late summer, after the flowers have set seed. And for the other 11 months, it is one of the most spectacular things you can have on a piece of property. From May through August, a properly established meadow is alive with color and movement, in a way a mown lawn never will be. Bees, butterflies, beetles, birds, all of it shows up. Researchers at Penn State Center for Pollinator Research have documented significantly higher pollinator activity in converted meadow areas compared to adjacent mowed turf, which tracks with everything I've seen firsthand. Carol, a retired schoolteacher outside Plano, Texas, converted about 1/3 of an acre behind her house into meadow in 2019. The first year was mostly patience. Meadow wildflowers actually prefer poor, low-fertility soil, which is the exact opposite of everything the lawn industry has spent 70 years telling you to feed your yard. But from year 2 on, it largely takes care of itself, spreading and thickening on its own every season. For a bigger property with a section that's always felt like more trouble than it's worth to mow, converting it to meadow is one of the most rewarding decisions you can make. Number 7. Dichondra. Dichondra is the least talked about option on this list, and it deserves a lot more attention than it gets. It produces a carpet of small, rounded, lily pad-shaped leaves packed so close together that the surface looks almost like a putting green. Deep, consistent green all season, and a texture genuinely unlike anything else on this list. It's the kind of lawn that makes people stop and ask what it is. Research out of Texas A&M's turfgrass program has looked at dichondra specifically as a warm climate turf alternative, since it thrives in full sun to partial shade in warmer regions and handles moderate foot traffic while recovering from wear at a solid pace. It's low-growing enough that mowing is either unnecessary or only needed occasionally to keep it tidy. For a smaller, defined lawn space in a warm, sunny yard, dichondra is one of the most impressive things you can plant, and almost nobody's using it. 7 alternatives. 0 weekly mowing. And every single one of them looks better than a stressed, patchy, chemically dependent turfgrass lawn ever will, once it's established. The right one for you depends on your sun, your soil, and your climate. But I promise you there's something on this list for almost every yard in America. If Daniel Yoder can look me in the eye and tell me he's never started a mower in his life and have his yard look better than mine, the least I can do is pass that along to you. Drop a comment and tell me which one you're most tempted to try. Hit subscribe if this was useful, and I'll see you in the next one.